Hey everyone, welcome to the podcast. Today I'm thrilled to be joined by Carole Winqwist, the Chief Marketing Officer of GitGuardian. How are you doing today, Carole?
Good, thank you. Have a good day too.
Perfect. Yeah, Carole brings a wealth of experience in scaling marketing teams and driving growth in the B2B cybersecurity space. And GitGuardian is a leading cybersecurity company that helps organizations secure their code by detecting, remediating secrets in source code, and addressing the challenges of non-human identity security. So we want to talk today about different topics, again, regarding marketing and B2B sales challenges. I want to start by asking you, Carole, you recently shared insights in the forum and article about attribution challenges in B2B. And of course, not many people read that article maybe. So if you can give a little bit of insight about that article first, and then maybe answer for us, how has this shaped GitGuardian's approach to marketing sales alignment?
Okay. So maybe a little bit of context first on the type of market we're addressing and their specificities. So yes, we are a B2B company, but we are also an enterprise sell, which means our sales cycle are usually 6 months plus, if not 9 months plus. So it means that as we are not a transactional business, marketing has to adapt to that length of relationship that we have to establish with our buyers. And I put up buyers in plural because what happens in our market is it's never one person buying the solution. It's what we call a buying committee. And they are usually from 6 to 10 people in these buying committees in large organization. And therefore, as a marketeer and as a sales team, you have to work multi-threading. You have to work multi-tactics and you have to work multi-touch points on a long period. Because when I say 6 or 9 months minimum for a sales cycle, you have to remember that even before the sales cycle, marketing has been in touch with people for sometimes a year or more. So everything is to work on a big journey, and the relationship and the alignment we have to put in place with sales is critical because we have to balance the work of the both team. Sometimes it's going to be heavy marketing led, sometimes it's going to be heavy sales led, depending on where you are in your journey. And that's where it was critical for me to react on this article about attribution, because in many organizations, people try to do very complex attribution models, trying to see it's sales-led, it's marketing-led, when in fact, I think it's a lost cause to try to say it's a sales-originated or marketing-originated deal. What's important is who should play a major at what moment in a deal. And we should both work, marketing and sales, because if it's marketing is not involved, then marketing did not do the job properly. If sales, sales is always involved, right? So there's no question here. So
absolutely, and
yeah,
I love how you're, I love how you're pairing these two together, because it's always that battle of like who is actually doing more work. So can you dive a little bit deeper on how like your sales and marketing complement each other? Like what is kind of maybe some concrete scenarios that you do?
What we have built as a company is a very balanced marketing between demand gen and content. Why is that? Because I'm a strong believer, and I use an image that I think Marketing One uses, that if you want a proper marketing function, you need to have fuel and engine. The fuel is the content, the engine is the demand gen. And if you don't fuel your with proper content, if you don't establish a brand, if you're not recognized as a trustful, and it's even more important in cybersecurity, if you're not seen as a trusted advisor or trusted source, then people won't listen to you. So we in marketing built this with strong investment on content, and we also have the engine, which is the demand gen, and both should be balanced. So that's the first, for me, important thing in the type of marketing we do. And content is not just for the demand gen team. Content is also for sales or business development teams, BDRs, because when they outreach, if they outreach with valuable assets and they're able to articulate the value, then of course they're going to establish a better interaction with their audience. So that's a critical point in the balance of marketing.
Mhm.
And then the relationship with sales is, some leads are going to come from marketing campaigns, and you have events. They're a big source of leads. You have LinkedIn advertisement, which is also for us a big inflow of potential business. And then we have also some nurture flows, or we have some content promotion that we do. I mean, we do a whole range of all the marketing tactics, and that's to acquire interest. But then, of course, when we have that interest, we have different type of tactics that intervene in the flow of things. So, for example, the first interest would be tackled by BDR, and then if the prospect is interested, then they will move into more a BDR sales play. But when they enter the pipeline, even in a very early stage, we call here discovery, we still continue to have marketing activities on them. For example, we invite them to our webinars. We send them some newsletters about the industry or the products we develop, and all these small interaction. And it's not rocket science, right? It's normal marketing, but it's to have the right pressure between your different elements of tactics, being sales, being BDRs, being marketing, and all interacting at different points. And what we measure, and we have a very, I would say, elaborate thing that we built, is we measure the journey and the touch point. So we're able to show sales and BDRs the volume of touch point that marketing had with their different content or their different events or all along the journey for the different contacts in the organization. So sales and BDR can basically understand better the dynamics of the account, who is in the buying cycle, who should I contact first. And on top of this, once the deal is a bit more mature, or even if we want we have key targets that we want to address, we do account-based marketing with a heavy investment into mapping the account to make sure we understand the dynamics again, and who we should market to, who we should contact directly, and stuff like that.
I really love the depth of which you go into to kind of have so many touch points. And I believe like when it comes to creating assets, is it almost like a reverse engineering your previous questions that you got on the sales calls, or how do you go about creating specific value, let's say, for your pipeline?
Yeah, so what we do in terms of content, we use, I would say, three sources to basically understand what content we should build. First is we are very much listening to the market. So we're doing a lot of market listening through different tools. And I read, I'm head of content as a CMO too. So my team and I, we read a lot. We meet with analysts, we meet with journalists. We are, big ears of what is it that people want to hear about, or what is the market saying? Do we have an opinion on it? Do we have value to bring on the topic? So that's the first, I would say, remit. The second one is, yes, we're equipped with a tool called Gong. You probably know that, and I'm able to read through or listen to calls, and therefore I'm able to understand what are the keywords my audience is using, what are the topics, how are they maybe sometimes clear on some topics, sometimes not clear about, how do I need to educate. We have to do a lot of education in our markets because we are in, for some elements like non-human identity is a very early stage market, so we have to do a lot of education. This is going through listening to what people say, how they understand the concept, what are the keywords. Should I use machine identity? Should I use non-human identity? All these, little things that we do along the way. That's the second thing. And I would say the third thing is also establishing a storytelling, and how our different contents articulate one with another. So how, for example, do I establish the context of our value? How do I give elements of peers' opinion? How do I give framework? And all that is built on a journey that we are able to bring our audience into, so that they go through different layers of content, going from very general to deep content, depending on their maturity and their knowledge.
That's very interesting. Would you say, like, what I'm always interested in knowing, is there like a breach where you see like some content specifically generating more traction and more interest? Or is there any kind of surprising platforms or assets that are actually sending the traffic to you that you wouldn't
I
say in the first place?
I think we have different type of content. We have one report that I started when I joined the company 4 years ago called the State of Secret Sprawl. This one is our number one asset. It's a very long-lived asset. We do it every year. It has a lot of data that interests both press, analysts, but also our prospect, because we have a unique capacity to view and give numbers around secret sprawl, which is something, it's one of our unique selling proposition. In a way, we have this capacity, so we build that content, and it generates leads, and it generates I would say press attention the whole year, which is a good investment for us. But we also have some more classic type of white papers and ebooks that we invest in, and that all generate some attention from different type of audience. So we also have our webinar series are very successful. We usually have 500 plus attendees into our webinars, because we are trying to not be self-centered and always bring value to the audience. We also have our podcast. I mean, we have different assets that each of them generates a bit of the pipeline, right? And so it's a combination. It's not one thing. If it were, I would do, all in for that, but it never is the case in marketing, and even more in B2B marketing enterprise. You have to have a rich marketing mix. You have to invest in different things. Sometimes we have surprises, like some of the marketing demos that we make are very successful into converting pipeline, and some other stuff. I mean, for example, the investment in our SEO is paying for also driving the proper audience to our different media, being the website, the blog, the podcast, the YouTube channel is quite successful too. We invested quite a bit on it. So you see everything, right? There is not, a wonder that works and the rest that we don't do.
Absolutely. I love it. I would be interested because you mentioned that all the years you're listening, you're learning, you're looking at what's new, what you can leverage. What do you think, or maybe what you heard about in the next 12, 48 months is something that's going to be booming in terms of marketing and sales that you also are thinking of incorporating towards your current efforts?
For us, I would say the effort that we're really putting in is very, very large account-based marketing tactics, because we are moving up market to, very complex organization, and volume marketing is not adapted to these organizations. So we are investing, and it's not a new rocket science thing. Of course, we leverage all technology that is now available to marketing through different type of AI, from content to dimension. We're using and leveraging all tools that are appearing every day in the AI world. But the basic and fundamentals of marketing, I've been doing this job for a very long time, not giving out the number of years. It's too many, but the fundamentals are always the same, right? You need to tell a good message to the right people at the right moment and demonstrate value. That's the basics, right? And it will never change, right? Because obviously the selling element of is always the same. You need to convince people, and to convince people, if you're not talking to them with the right words, if you're not talking to them at the right time, they won't listen. And even worse now, with people being so overwhelmed by everything. So you have to measure and understand what is the right moment, and what is the right value, and what is the right words. And that's the work we do as a marketeer since, the beginning of time, and I think for the following 20 years. So it's just leveraging new technology to do the same fundamentals for me. And the technology, I could say, is helping a lot. When I compare marketing now and when I was doing it maybe 10 years ago, marketing helps, I think, having more crisp message, having more visibility on people's behavior and better understand them, and do, I would say, more qualitative marketing. Even if some people leverage technology to do mass bad messaging, and I think it will not work. So they will test and, move away from it. But, technology is an empowerment. It's not solving, is your message okay? And is it resonating with your audience?
It just does 80% of the work, but you need to make sure you're navigating the right direction to get 100% of it. And
Yeah,
as you said, like it's
exactly.
very
Yeah.
easy to get lost within all of the opportunities and all of the tech out there, and to deviate from those marketing basics, speaking to the right person at the
Yeah,
right
yeah.
time.
And I don't say we don't do mistakes, right? We also do mistakes sometimes. We are seen as spammy sometimes because we try to draw attention, or sometimes you misconfigure, a cadence and then it blows back. But that's making mistakes, I think, is the way also you learn, and you fine tune your outreach and your messages. In our environment in cyber, people are even more, I would say, touchy and sometimes very sensitive to the quality of the message, what we tell them. On the other end, we have a unique also capacity to warn companies when they have vulnerabilities. And we have this program called Good Samaritan, where we do it for individual developer. You leave your keys, your secrets in the public space. We warn you as a developer. And this is for us important because we see that as we do it for free, and we consider it's not, we don't even sell the product to them because they can use it for free. So some people say, yeah, it's spammy, but because it was not an important key. Yes, but the day it's an important key, you're happy that we warned you. So I'm okay to take a bit of a slap on the hand from one or two people that are not happy about it if I save, 100. It's always a balance between value you bring, and maybe we do a couple of mistakes sometimes, and that's fine, because on the other end, we warned company. And recently we launched our responsibility disclosure program, and we warned large organization. I mean, Oracle and the like. I mean, we are on their wall of fame now because they were happy that we warned them about very critical key that some developers left on the public space. So yes, some company would say you're ambulance chasing or you're spammy, but a lot of the other say thank you, and they see the value. So yeah, sometimes you have to take risks.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you need to also be able to, again, track everything and balance, like, okay, how many people is this actually helping versus the few haters that will always be there, right? And just trying to push it down. And I love that you've touched already on kind of what makes you different, because of course the market, cybersecurity, it's, in my opinion, crowded quite well, and there's lots of like semi-solutions and maybe different types of what you can get when you're looking to be cyber secure. But what is maybe your, like, the most prominent feature of how you differentiate yourself, or what are the kind of steps you take for differentiating yourself?
Yeah. So first cybersecurity is a very large market. Is that if you were saying, I don't know, enterprise software, right? It's very large from a finance to an HR system. It's very different. Cyber is as wide, from an XDR to what we do is another world. So in our domain, which is application security, and even now we are extending to what we call non-human identity security, the market is much narrower in terms of how many vendors and what are the offers on the market. And the way we differentiate is we are making alerts and detecting, but we are really helping customer remediating, which in cyber is not always the case. You have a lot of solution who will do a lot of alerts, and you have alert fatigue, and because you get alerting, our wording about that is alert without remediation is just noise. And we want to go the complete journey, which is, yes, you're alerted, but we also help you remediate and fix it. Fixing it is critical because in our domain, for secrets, one secret can put you at big risk. One secret is enough. You don't need, a complex attack. With one secret, if it's the wrong one, people can just navigate your organizations. What we think is that first we want to, yes, we bring a solution to alert, but we bring a solution to remediate. That's our first unique, I would say, differentiator. The second one is we have a unique point of view on secrets because we are able to detect them. We are also able to help on their life cycle. And that's our positioning on non-human identity. And we are we are unique in that matter because we are the leader in secret detection in terms of the depth of our product. We've been there some years now, and our engine is really above competition. We made recent analysis, and frankly, the numbers show by themselves that, our detection capacities are above. But not only are we above in terms of, so we have this comprehension and full visibility on the secrets lifecycle, And so we bring a unique capacity that Vaults, for example, can't bring, or that a pure governance tool could not bring, because they have just one angle, and we have the full 360 capacity. So that's the way. For us, we differentiate a lot on our product capacity and our the depth of the product, but also on the way we are able to satisfy very demanding organizations. We serve very large organization, and our customer retention is very high because we serve them with quality, with responsiveness. We listen to their needs, we adapt. And this is a way, it's not just the product, it's also the service. I mean, the team that you put in front of them and the quality of everything we produce, from content to documentation to UI to people. All of this for us is a package, right? And for me, it's the critical thing that they have the same experience of, I'm well taken care of in the product, by the team, in the events I'm attending, in the papers I'm reading. It's always the same experience, right? It's a very data-driven, serious, in-depth, detailed. That's our DNA, and that's across the brand.
Love it. Love it. Can you share with us maybe one of your success stories where this exact kind of other solution, all that detailed attention led to maybe you winning a customer or shortening your sales cycle with one of the prospects in your pipeline?
Shortening sales cycle, unfortunately, it's not the easiest way, but I think convincing very, very high, very powerful logos, and I can't, give you the logos because in cyber we are very protective of the customers and everything. But when you hear, a Fortune, 500, even larger than this, telling you this is the best experience I've had with a company, a supplier, from first touch point to the signature, and even after that to, renewals. And when you hear that not just one time, but 10 times, you've done something right.
Yeah.
You know that when people are really praising the customer success team, the marketing team, the sales team, even the solution engineers, everyone, they think, okay, these guys they were smart people, they brought value, I learned something, I loved your report. All that is showing that we do something right, and it helps go, and it helps move requirements, and keeping our requirements very high, and not I would say abandon on saying we need to do so much more, then the quality will go down. So we are not going this way, right? We want to keep quality high because we're a luxury. We're like a luxury product. We want to address people with very high demands, and we want to be the people that answer them perfectly. So for us, it's not a matter of volume; it's a matter of quality all the time.
Yeah, and that really ties into like maintaining that over all of these touch points that you mentioned, all of these marketing efforts, all of that, and you being in one of the leadership positions. Like, how do you view managing a team and making sure that the quality stays high, even if you're expanding, even if you're hiring? Like, how do you ensure it still stays the same?
Yeah, we need, when I hire passionate people first. People needs to be, we're running a marathon, right? We're not speedy racer that try to close a deal in a week and everything. We are marathon runners. So we need people that have the stamina to run a marathon when it comes to building an audience, building a pipeline, signing deals. And we are investing in people that are tech savvy in the marketing team, but also in the sales team. We need people who understand what they're selling, what they're marketing. I can't have people who could not articulate the value. And I'm not talking, the product we're selling, this is complex. Why we sell to developer team, we sell to AppSec teams, and all the concept that we're touching, right, is complex. So we demanding on people in the organization to be able to understand the technical concepts. And I think in marketing, I'm considered a technical CMO because I don't think I could sell something if I didn't understand the in and outs of it. And this is the same for my team. If they're not able to articulate what they're selling, what's the point, right? So Even our designers, even everybody in the organization, they can go deep into the understanding of the product.
That's amazing. And I believe that it takes lots and lots of education, and I would say a very precise, like a ramp-up plan that every employee receives when they
Yes,
join, right?
onboarding is critical. We document a lot, and we have cross-team, I would say, learning capacities because product helps product marketing, marketing learns from product marketing, sales learns from sales engineers, from product marketing. I mean, we have to cross-team a lot of the knowledge and share and have everybody driving to the next step other people. So it's very collaborative.
Amazing. Awesome. Yeah. This is what happens when, as you said, you play the long game and you actually run a marathon, because then if you have like very good processes and you really take your time, you can build something amazing and something that actually lasts. I would love to end this with one of the questions that I'm particularly interested in, since you have such a technical depth alongside the marketing. Where do you see your specific sub niche, right? Like non-human security. Where do you see like the new trends emerging, and what do you predict like in the next couple of years happening within the industry? What are the maybe threats that are coming, and how do you kind of plan on adjusting and developing your product to stay
Yeah.
competitive?
So what, as I explained, so maybe for people not knowing, so secrets, they're, all the API keys and all tokens and everything. And with modern development, these are sprawling everywhere because you need to make systems talk one to another. And what we're seeing is that with artificial intelligence and all the AI services and AI agents, the number of secrets that are going to be used is going to exponentially grow. So unfortunately, this attack surface is not going to diminish for organization because they are going to be much more dependent on all these connections between systems, and AI is going to accelerate this. It's going to accelerate this not only because developers are going to use it, but also because non-developers and shadow IT is going to be much more bigger in organization, with people with even less knowledge of how critical it is to protect a key or an API key. For us, there is an acceleration of the problem. And the way we want to tackle this is, as I was explaining before, it's not only to give visibility to organization on the problem of secret sprawl and the risk it has for their, I would say, a posture, but also helping them have a full visibility of their life cycle. Because when, for example, when you offboard someone, which keys did he create? Where are they? Are they long-lived? Are they stale? How do you offboard the keys that he had to rotate them? And all this is a real problem now for organization. Also because organization we're talking to are very complex and they're never with one system, right? They don't have one version control system, one vault, and that's it. That would be easy. And frankly, for these organizations, it's easy, but none of the organization we talk to are in that situation. They have multiple version control systems. They have multiple vaults. They have multiple clouds. And all of this is leveraging millions of secrets, and they have to get visibility. And for the moment, they're in the dark for, if not everything, at least they might be in the dark for part of it. Yeah. And our value in the market is to bring light and allow fixing and allow governing, which is, as I said, it's not just putting a light on it, but also giving the means to act and giving the means to fix. So that's the path we're taking. And this is going to be critical because we can't do just cyber, as I said. We can't just warn people and alert and have alarms because people just don't care. The next time you have an alarm, they will just tone it down because if they can't do anything about it, if they don't know why it's ringing, why should I prioritize my time as an AppSec? So we help a lot on prioritization. Why should I tackle this problem rather than that problem? That we have a limited amount of time. You can't fix everything. What should you fix first to really impact your
Really just solving all of their problems or all of their thinking processes before they even appear, and being absolutely transparent of like, okay, what's happening, what needs to be done, and even doing it for them when you can.
Yeah, and in our world, the for them is it's where some people lie on the market saying you can automate when you see the complexity. The automation is sometimes more dangerous than the manual but precise thing.
Well,
Rotating this key is critical, whereas these you can leave it on the side and not tackle now. This is what we try to bring, right? We don't try to give false hope of we're going to automate everything and do everything for you, because this is not the truth. Saying that is a lie, frankly.
got it. Awesome. I really love everything that you share here with me, Carole. I've learned quite a lot myself. So I'm thanking you for coming in and sharing all of this with us. It's been a pleasure. And I'm hoping that in 2-3 years, maybe even sooner, when there's new systems and new acquisitions maybe in place, your company, we can do this again and you can shed light on some new strategies that you guys are using.
Definitely. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you very much, Carole. Speak to you soon. And everybody,
Thanks.
thank you
Bye.
for tuning in and I'll see you in the next one. Have a nice one.